Can you please confirm? Are you able to see my screen now?
Yes.
So, last session we discussed DevOps tools, all the DevOps tools which is required and what all are those. So, Java programming. So, in Java programming, only one thing is remaining, Java 8. So, that I'll discuss today. And after that, build tool we already discussed. This Docker Kubernetes already discussed, SQL part already discussed, Mongo and SQL, and then these all are the DevOps tools which we are using: Docker, Kubernetes, Maven, GitHub, Jenkins, CI/CDs, and all. AWS Cloud Services we will discuss. Some of the services I'll give you the overview, but already discussed something. Now after that we have a React.js, so we will go for this live project, and there we will discuss React.js things, and then all the live project from this full stack development. Before that, today I'll try to complete Java 8 features. So Java 8 is a very important topics while we are going for the development. Most of the scene cases we seen, like all the microservices having some Java 8, either what all are the features we will see later. But see, this is the Java 8 features. Either you can refer any one of tutorials point or Java T points or Java guide. So in that, everywhere we have a Java 8 tutorials are there. If you want some deep knowledge of theoretical part, then we have a this Java 8. In Java guide also Java T point and tutorials. Some of the notes we have. So this is the good notes for the Java 8. So here we have a Java 8 features. So all are the features in there. Before that, see, Java 7 was there, and after that Java 7 is introduced in 2014, and this is very popular version of Java 8. So what all are the features are there in the Java 8? Right now Java 17 or 18 is going on in market, 10 to 18. So this one is going on in market. 17, some of the company are using Java 17, but 8 is a stable release version. So these all are the new features in Java 8. We have a lambda expression, we have a functional interface, we have a default method. This reference I downloaded from internet somewhere. So this is a very good theoretical part. If you want, you can take as a reference. So these all are the features are there. Total 8 features mostly. Lambda expressions, functional interface, default method, predicate, function, double colon operator, that is called math, and then a stream API and datetime API. So in real time, while we will develop a project in full stack, so from the Java side we will use lambda expression. Some of the cases we will use functional interface and a stream API. So in a stream API we can use some predicate, some functions, and method reference and all. Datetime API also we will use while we are giving some dates or some timeline for that to generate a reports or something, or do the payment. So in that we need to print some date based on the timestamp and all. So for that purpose we have a advanced datetime API. In Java 7 also we seen datetime API. In a database also we seen some datetime was there, like how we will calculate a date and time while inserting the data in the database or while updating in this Java. But in 8 we have many features are there in datetime API. We will see all. So these all are the 8 topic we will discuss today. So first is lambda expression. So why lambda expression? So Java 8 has introduced one lambda expression. So if you are using lambda expression, so simple code, before we write like a public static void main, right? In this real world many project we seen, program we seen, we created one method as a m1 method, and that is void type, and public was a modifier. So public void m1, inside that some sop is there, hello, right? So these all are we written till Java 7. Now if you want to return to the Java 8, so we can use a lambda expression. So lambda expression is just expression, is a anonymous nameless function. So we need to create a anonymous nameless functions. So how we will create? We have a method as m1, right? So we have to remove this accessifier, like public is there, that we can remove. We can also remove this mode return type. So void is the return type. Void means nothing is there, then that we can remove. And we can remove the method name also. Just what is the method name, open braces close is there, this one. So we can create as a anonymous. So anonymous means nameless. So through the nameless, just open braces and close braces, we have to put this SOP. So like that. So this is the lambda expression. So how we will write this code through the lambda? We have to remove this accessifier. We have to remove this return type. We have to remove this method name also. And if required, also we can remove this inside this parameters also. And then just open braces and close braces SOP will be there. So if you want to write this program as a, then just this will be there. If you want to modify this program, either we can use in single line also instead of double line. So this is the lambda expression. This symbol is a lambda expression. So and SOP of hello in single line also we can put. And suppose in lambda expression also have features, you can even remove this open braces close braces also. So this, see this, how we will convert this example one to three ways. Either the first way is also fine, second way is also fine, this one, or third way is also fine. So like that we can create a from Java 7 code to Java 8 code by using lambda. So this symbols is a lambda, this symbols is a lambda one. So through, if you have used these symbols, then you can remove this accessifier, you can remove the return type, if you can remove this method name, you can remove this open braces close braces, and all things you can remove. So how this compiler knows? Because lambda, if you open this lambda expression class in Java 8, in Java 8 also we have a multiple jars will be there. If you open lambda expressions internal jar, so in that they have mentioned all those things. So this is called lambda expression. So if you will write any large program, so that will be converted in this a small type of program. We can remove all those things, like see here. This, that means functions can which does not have the name, return type, access modifier. These all we can remove. That is called lambda expression. So this example second, if you see here, we have a public is there, we have a void is there, we have add method. Inside that we have a two parameters is there. First one was a blank parameters inside the method, but second is add method is there inside two parameters, int a, int b. So inside this, and after that we have SOP. So if any parameters will be there, that we have to declare, so that lambda will understand, oh, we have two parameters, for that we need to do some SOP. So we can remove, while you are using this symbol as a lambda expression, it means we can remove this public also, we can remove this return type also, we can remove this method also. And if you have multiple argument, then you have to add this argument, int a, int b, and then SOP. And also you can remove open braces, close braces, close curly braces also. So like that we can, this program, this much of program, like we have written in this just 4 line, 4 word. So this is called lambda expression. So one features, if you see here, we have a multiple examples are there. If you have this here, so see here, we have a string public. A string is a return type, like we need some string type data. So a string str, and str, they have some argument also there, and they are doing some return str, some operation. So if you want to write through the lambda, what we have to write, either the first one is also correct and second is also correct, both are correct, this also is correct. What we have to remove this public, we have to remove the return type, we have to remove the method name, but argument is there. So argument is either single is there, but this have mentioned. So string str argument we have to mention, then lambda expression, this symbol, and return str, because we have removed open braces and curly braces. But if you want to modify this, or this much of program, so like that also we can do second one. So just you have to mention the str, no need to mention the data type. So string type is there, right? So no need to mention that. If you mention here str lambda and str, So if you want, you can remove this return also. If you have single parameters inside this method of str, then you can remove the data type also. And if you have return, then you can return the return keyword also. So for this much of code, example 3, we have written in only 2 lines, 2 words, str, lambda, str. So how this one is understanding, like we have public method, we have a string, we have str methods, and we have to return strs like this. So if you will go for this lambda internal implementations, so there if you are using this symbol, because of this symbol only, this is a lambda expression symbol. If you are doing that one, means automatically they understand, oh, we have a str, means a string type will be there. Str means a string type will be their data type, and we need to return str. So they have not used the return keyword, just str we need to return, like that. The next features is functional. If you want, you can just go through this all the conclusions also, but this whatever we discussed, that is there in the same. And the second is functional interface. So we will show you, like mostly we are using lambda expressions in real time to reduce the code, to reduce this number of details which is not required and all in that cases, and some of the steam API in that purpose we are using. We will see later the detail. And second is functional interface. So this is one of the second features of the Java 8 is functional interface. So in that functional interface, we are seeing many where we seen in collection framework we seen comparable, in run thread we seen runnable, run thread we seen, right? Comparable we have a comparable, or external listener or callable we have a this type of. So we seen like run method somewhere in Java, compare to method was there, action performed method was there, call method was there. So these all are the functional interface. Functional interface means inside this inside this functional interface, single abstract method will be there. There is no any other method will allowed. So suppose this is a functional interface. Why? Because of this is a single abstract method is there. At least one abstract method is required, or default you can use any type of method inside this Java 8. So we seen, right, we have created many interface inside, we have abstract method. So what is abstract method? Abstract method won't provide any implementation, just we have a definitions. So this is public abstract void m1, means this is a abstract method. For that implementation we'll go for the different class or different method, right? So this is the interface which we have created. If you want to create a functional interface, so you have to annotate at the rate functional interface here, or you have to mention at least single abstract method inside this interface. Any number of default method will be applicable. So this is a default method, m2 is fine, but abstract method should not have any implementation. Just after method declaration there will be some semicolon. It means this is a functional interface. Functional interface means only single abstract method will be available. Apart from this, if you want, you can use multiple default method, or even a static method also you can use. So Java 7 8 onwards, if you are declaring one single abstract method and some default methods and all, it means this is a functional interface. So what all are the functional interface in Java? Mostly, so we have a run method is there, comparable is there, external listener is there. So run method, only one abstract method is there, that is run method. Look like this one, m1 in method, right? This is abstract method. So in runnable we have a run method is there. In comparable we have compare to method is there. In external action listener we have action list performed is there method. Callable we have a call method is there. So like that, only one abstract method there. If you want, you can use default or static. It's called functional interface. Where to see this in real time? We have to see, like, see, this is the example. This is a functional interface. Either you can annotate with @ functional interface, or if you are not annotating, means compiler will default understand, oh, we have a one abstract method is there. It means that is functional interface. If you are not annotating and if you don't have any functional abstract method inside that, it means this is a default method. So public void m1, this is not an abstract method, this is a default method. It means you have to either you have to mention some at the rate functional interface. So if you have mentioned functional interface, then we have to create a single abstract method at least. So here in this examples we have functional interface, we have m1 and m2 is there. This will give a compile time error. Why? Because of these all are both having default method. So at least one abstract method is required. See, this is the functional interface. So inheritance we seen like multiple class access and all. So see here inheritance concept, how we can use a functional interface. So if you use Java 8 or your company required Java 8 or something, Java 8 features, then like that we have to do some coding. So interface A is there and interface B is there. So we have seen extend, right? So while we extend, because interface can extend, interface class can implement, class can extend. So interface B extend A means parent class of A extend from the B class. So in parent class we have a void method is there. So public is void method is there. So the same will be extended in the class B also. See here we have a, so this is the functional interface we have annotated. We have an interface A. We have just normal method. This is a normal method. And this is class B. We have a class B having this one B extend A. So A have also normal method, and this is normal method 1 and normal method 2 will be there inside, but there is no compilation error. This look like fine, coding have no issues, but at least one or in above examples both parent and child interface we can write any number of default method, but there is no restrictions for this. So restrict are applicable only for the abstract method. So these all are the public, right? So this public void, so it means default method is there. So default we can access anywhere, but if you have, yeah, so this, see, we have annotated at the rate functional interface here, and if you have created a class public void method m1, so in that case what will happen, this method will behave not a normal default method. This method will behave like a abstract method. Why? Because of, हिला दिए ध्यान से 9 बजे से पहले, नहीं दे, चल चल चल। So this method will behave like this one as an abstract method. Why? Because we have annotated at the rate functional interface. If you annotated at the rate functional interface and if you have not put it a public abstract, it means this method is also abstract method. Why? Because we don't have any implementation here. But for this class B, sorry, interface B will have a two abstract method. So this will not a abstract interface. Why? Because of functional interface. Why? Because of two abstract method will be there by default. One is method 1, another is method 2. So in a single interface, two abstract method won't be allowed. It means this is not a functional interface. Class B is not a functional interface like this. So we have this one. So how we will create a functional interface? Either if you have annotated with at the rate functional interface, then if you are putting any abstract method abstract keyword inside this method or not, it means behave the method as a functional interface. If you not provide any body, if you have not provide any body, it means it's a functional interface. If you have provide a body, it means that is default interface. And if you are extending one interface to another interface, and this functional interface annotated and abstract method, of class A having abstract method, and again we have class B also we have abstract method. It will be not a functional interface. But in this case of interface B, we have a valid interface. Why? Because of interface B have a, this is non-abstract method, we can say. Why? Because this is not annotated with the functional interface here. But in interface A is annotated with functional interface. It means this method one have a single abstract method. But this public void method 2 is not a single abstract method. So that is applicable. If you see any of the examples here, so this one functional interface A, this is a annotated at the rate functional interface. It means this is a abstract method, single abstract method. One abstract method is there. This is called SAM. And here interface B extending A. So inside this B we don't have any method. So by default we are inheriting this one interface A. So only one abstract method also. So this is also fine. Why? Because of functional interface is annotated. So by default is fine. Now for the second one, we have a functional interface here, and interface A we have a, this is a abstract method. Why? Because if you have not added here abstract, that also behave like abstract method because of annotated with functional interface. Now we are extending this interface of A to B interface. So inside this we have a, this is also annotated with at the rate functional interface. It means this is abstract method, and again we are inheriting this is also abstract method. So this having some error because in a single abstract functional interface we can use only one abstract method. So this will have a compile time error in this case. In this case fine, is functional interface annotated, then we have abstract method, fine. But for this case interface B having functional interface, and here we are having two method, one both are the single abstract method. Means this is first abstract method and this is second abstract method. So both abstract method is not allowed in a functional interface. It means compile time error. So we will see like where we are using in real time functional interface while we are developing a code. So this is the second examples in Java 8. Now we have a last third one. So these all are the real examples is there how we are using functional interface. We will see in while we will develop a full stack project. There we can see. What was the next one? So this is the default method. The default method also we covered already. If you have not a abstract written, it means by default that is called default method. And if you have annotated functional interface, and if you are not using abstract keyword, it means that is also default method. So if you have having a static keyword, it means that is called static method. So in this case, see, we have already put it here default void m2. It means this is a default method, and this m1 is a abstract method. Why? Because of we have abstract keyword. And for the static method we will have a static here, a static void m2 or m3, anything. So that means we have a static method. So what is a static, what is default, and what is functional interface? So this difference we see. So many functional interface is already predefined functional interface is there that we will use in our Java project, like runnable from thread class, comparable from comparable from collection framework, and then so these, so this was the third features from the default. Now we will go for the next one. So what was the next one? Next one is predicate functions and all. So So just a minute. So we will discuss now predicate. So what is predicate, when to use predicate, and what is function, when to use function. So predicate functions mostly we will use in Stream API. While we are using Stream API, in that time we will use predicate functions, and then this is double column operator is there. So that is called method reference, we can say. So method reference we are using in Stream API. So these three functionality, predicate, function, double column operators, we are using in Stream API. So we will see what is predicate first. So this is the predicate features. So this predicate is a functions which have single argument and returns boolean value. Boolean value means true or false, right? So see here examples, we have an interface. So this interface we have predicate. So in this predicate we have a single argument. Single argument means anything will be there inside this. So single argument, and then it returns either this will check the conditions and it return true or false. Means here see some examples. Public boolean test method is there. Inside this test method we have some parameters integer I. So we are comparing this, whatever the I value is coming here from the test method, we are comparing is I greater than 10, true or false. So always predicate will have a only one argument. For that argument we need to check the conditions and the value should be either true or false. Some boolean value should be there. So for that purpose we will use a predicate. So see here we have an integer I. We are using lambda here. So if you want to write this example, so in Java 7 we can use like this. In Java 7 we can use like this. And so here we are using lambda. Predicates also we are using. So how? So Java 7 we have a public boolean test integer I, means integer I type of data type is there, and test method is there, boolean return type is there, and public accessifier is there. Now we are checking this I, integer I is greater than 10 or not. If yes, then return true, because we need a boolean type, so true or false value will be written. Or else if I is not greater than 10, it means return false. So if you want to write the same program in Java 8, only we can write this much only, like this, or this way also we can write if you are using predicate. So see how we will write first lambda expression. So if you want to use this lambda expression, so what we have seen in lambda, we can remove this public, we can remove this return type, we can remove the method. So just we have to use argument. So integer I we have used here, and after that lambda. So this is the lambda symbol we use, and we have used here open curly braces. If you want you can remove, but here we used open curly braces because we have if else conditions inside that. And see here, if I is greater than 10 means return true or else false, that's it. If you want to modify this also, again remove this integer data type, we already told, right? Remove this integer, just mention I lambda and then I greater than 10. And if you want to use the predicate here, see here, see if you want to use a predicate, so just mention for this conditions I is greater than 10 here. So for these conditions we can use predicate integer. So this is integer type p, and then I is a integer type of 5 variables, reference variables. So lambda I greater than 10. So like that we can use. So in this predicate, either they will check the condition integer type p, p is integer type. So I lambda I greater than 10 is there or not. If not, then is greater than, it means true. If not, then false. So system.out.println p.test, this test method we have to put, given this 100. So this 100 will check 100 either here in this 100. So integer type, this fine. I value is 100 greater than 100, 10 or not. Yes, so true or else false. So like that we can write or sort the code in a this much code of line of code we can sort in a single line of code like this. So for that purpose we are using lambda, predicate, functional. So if you use predicate, we have a multiples predicate also there. Multiple predicate, some methods will be there. We have to check internally what all are the methods we can use. But here see next is function. So what is function? So inside these functions we have two things. So functions are exactly same as a predicate. This is also same as predicate except functions can return any type of result but predicate can't return. So see here predicate we don't have any return type but functions having return type. So in this predicate just we are checking the conditions either by using predicate either true or false. If this condition is checking then true or false. See we have examples. Write a predicate to check the length of given string is greater than 3 or not. So how you will write this code? By using Java 8. So we have to use lambda expressions also. Either we can use lambda expression, stream APIs and all. So how we will write these conditions? If you want to write a predicate to check the length of a string is greater than 3 or not, given a string of length. So predicate means the check conditions either condition satisfied or not. If condition satisfied means true or not false, because predicate return only true or false boolean type. So we have a string type data type, right? So a string we need to compare, right? So we have mentioned some reference predicate a string p and then we have s. Why? Because of a string have some s reference. So s reference lambda s dot length means we need to check the string length s dot length greater than 3. If yes then we have true, if no then we have false. Like that predicate we are checking. So in this there we don't have any return type. But if you'll go for the function, in functions we have two things. One is input, another is return type also. So how? See here. So this is the input and return type. So if we'll go for any example, so this is the difference of predicate and function. Just main function difference is predicate can only one argument, functions can take two parameters. One is as a input, another should have a return type. See here, one is input and other should have a return type. So these all we will see in the real time of examples while we will go for the stream. And the next one is method reference, double colon. See this is the double colon means this is a method reference. We can say method reference, method and constructor reference. So see this is the examples, this is the examples without method with lambda expression. This is the example with lambda expression just. And the same if examples if I want to use a method reference then this much is the examples of the method reference. So we can give you this clarification of method reference. Just a minute. Here we have a method reference in Java. And one more thing, optional is also part of Java 8. So optional will check this null conditions. So one more thing I forgot, this is the optional class. So in Java 8 this is a very important topic in Java 8, optional features. So optional have multiple methods are there. So why optional? We are using optional to handle all the null pointer exception. So if you want to handle the null pointer exception in Java 8 then we can use optional class. So see here, this is optional class. So examples, so here we main method, inside the string we are passing as a 10 and then we are doing some lowercase, so as string 5 dot 2 lowercase. So the output in that case we have some optional class. If you are not using optional class, then we have a null pointer exception is coming. And if you want to handle this one, then we have to use here optional. So in this case, if you have used optional, in optional we have a multiple methods are there, is nullable, off nullables and all. So if either string 5, because we are having a string 10 and here we are trying to do a string 5 only, so for that cases null pointer exception will come in. So if you want to handle in that case, so you have to put the optional, and optional will check is nullable or not. So they will check some condition internally, or you have to check null is present. If present, then we have this one. If not, then we have a string value is not present, like this output. So for that purpose we are using optional, but right now we need to see the method reference. So method reference, method reference. Method reference is there. So in this method reference, see, this is the examples of method reference. See here, what is that? Method reference, we have a public class, this one, and then we have a main method. Inside that we created some list, array list, and then we are adding some name, multiples name we need to add. This is my requirement, we added and all. And now we need to use the method reference functionality here. So name dot for each, name means this reference, name dot for each means all, one by one, this add method, this add method, this add method, this add method, this add method. So name dot for each, and sop system dot out dot println. Either you have to mention 4 time of system, 5 time of system dot out dot println, or if you want in a single line to print all this Mahesh, Suresh, Ramesh, Naresh and all, then you, by using method reference, we can sort this code. Instead of 4 line of SOP, we can use in a single line of SOP and just mention SOP system dot out method reference println, means always it will be written till the last name will not completed, name dot add. The result will be like this. So that purpose mostly we used a method reference instead of to remove some SOP offline and all. So if you have similar type of functionality to execute, just mention SOP system dot out method reference println, means all will be executed in this next line. So in this examples they have introduced some of, so that all things we will check inside this stream. So this is the features of stream. Java 8 we have a one stream features. So these all are coming from, stream is coming from util package. So if you want to use these features, then you have to import java.util.star or something, because line by default will be there, but these features is available in this util package. So everywhere you will see, if you are, if anyone is using Java 8 features stream, then they will use a util in the package on top level of the class. So see, what is a stream? A stream is an interface present in java.util.stream. Once we got this stream, by using that we can process the object of that collection. So mostly a stream is a way to process the data or process the object. So how this will be configured and how it will be processed the data, so that we will use by using a stream. So configurations we can configure either using filters mechanism or using map mechanism. So we need like we have some requirement, business requirement, to fetch the list of employee whose salary is greater than 5,000 or something. So in that cases if you want to write a program, that program should be in Java 8. So how you will write to sort this program? By using lambda, by using functional interface, or by using stream APIs and all, or method reference, these all features. In that cases, we need to do some configuration and some processing. So configurations means we have to take this list of the employee record by using some filters, or we have to process this data and place it somewhere as a map, and then after this processing data we will fetch the record. So that purpose we have a multiple configurations will be there that we need to see, and processing the data. So mostly system is used to process the data. If you see here in this tutorials point, we have a method reference, functional interface we seen, default method we seen. See here Java 8 overview we seen, Java 8 overview, environment setup, how you will install this in Java 8, what is lambda expression, what is method reference, what is functional interface, what is default method, what is stream. Now an optional we already seen. Date time is the last features, nest round and base 64 is not required. Optional we seen. Now stream we have, after that we have a date time. So in this stream we need to process the data. So instead of Java 7 you want to process the data in the Java 8. So how we will do? So we have a stream. So see the real examples of a stream. So in a stream we will use this all: for each, then map, then filters, limit, sorted, parallel processing, collectors, statics and all we will use. So a stream represents sequence of object from a source which support aggregate operations. Like this all are the characters. How we will, I'll show you the examples of a stream API here only. See here this, the basic examples of a stream. See we have without a stream and with this stream. Yes, so this is the example. Yeah, so see this is the examples. I have requirement to collect only even number from the array list. So we have already we seen array list, right? In Java, core Java we have array list and all, we have a multiples array list. So right now we have example requirement to collect only even number of from the array list. So how you will write? So without a stream, if you want to write this program, so we have class test inside this main method, we have array list, right? So array list as an integer type, this reference new array list as an integer. Now we have we are using for loop, I equal to int I equal to 0, I is less than 10, I plus plus, and we are adding some value. Why? Because of L1 as a array list here. So array list, so in that we have to add. So add method is there inside this array list. So through that we can add all the value inside this array list. Once we added SOP, this one L1, so we need to print the L1. Now we have the second requirement, we have again some array list L2. Inside that we are processing this data. So how we are processing? By using for loop. So we have an integer type of data, right? In array list what we have? Integer type of data. Why? Because of array list have integer type. So we have to use integer here, I and I1. I1 means this one, first array list. So I1, whatever the data you added in this I1, so that we are taking here, and one by one we are comparing, and we are checking, we are assigning this value form to I, integer I. And now after this I integer I, so we are assigning I1 to I. Now we are checking I divided by 2 equal to 0, because I need to print the even number. So if I want to print the even numbers, then we have to divide by 0 equal to 0. If that, it means even number. So we need to take all the even number and place it some different array. So I2 is a different array. there we need to print. So I2 dot add, we have added some I means all the events number which is comparing here, and we are printing, and this I2 will be printed. So this is my requirement without a stream. Now same thing if you want to process. So a stream is an example which have to process, configure and process the data by using a stream. So a stream has multiple methods are there. So through that we can write this code. Instead of this line of code we can write it in this way. So how we will write it? We have created a class, we have a main method. Inside this main method we created I1 as an array list, and we have placed the same code like same line of code here, and we have added I1 dot add I. So all this value I added inside this array list. SOP we printed. Now we have array list of 2 is fine. So instead of that there was some array list 2. Here we are doing L1 dot stream means we are processing this data, configuring and processing the data by using a stream. So L1 means L1 of array type stream dot filters. Why? Because stream we used as a process the data. So dot stream method we used, and after that we have a filter. So filters, it means it will be filter some conditions. So while we use a stream we have a configuration and processing the object. So I need to check only even number of all the data. So how you will do? L1 is a array where we have data, we need to process. So L1 dot stream method we use. Now filters means some condition. So either these conditions will have a true or false, boolean type. So filters method I lambda. I means integer type of I, this. So I greater than I divided by 2. So it means if these conditions will satisfied, means this is an even number. So if even numbers, then collect. So we have a collect method we seen. Collect method is there which will be collect the whatever the data is coming from filters, all this data will be collected. Either even number is there, it will be collect. If odd number is there, it will not collect. So in this collect we have a collector dot to list inside this method. So collect is also one type of method. Inside we have a multiples method. So one method is there which will collect. So collectors is there. Collector dot which form you want, because we want in the list form. So to list is one method is there. Through that we have to print, and then SOP of L2. It means this both program having same thing. Here what we are doing, we have a for loop. So through that for loop we are processing the data, and here we have a method stream. So through the stream we are processing the data. While we are using a stream we have a filters, we have a map, we have a collectors. So based on the requirement we can use all the functionality. So see here, I need to find this in this processing the count. I have to find the count of. So if you want to find the count, so this is long type of count is there, and then I1, I is some data is there. So inside this some data is there, for that I have to found. So L dot stream filters s greater than s dot length equal to 5. So if length is equal to 5, then we have to count that length number. So like that we can use a filters stream. So instead of for each and all, we can see here. So this we inside this stream we can use sorted also. Sorted means ascending descending order. Collector means collect the data. So in this collect method we have a collectors will be there. So which form you want, to list, to set, to map, and something will be there, right? So in collection framework, filters means they will check the conditions either true or false and all. So these we can see in this any stream example. If you see here somewhere stream examples will be there. So these all are the stream, parallel streams and all difference. For map is also there. we can use map. So see this example. Here we have a integer list of integer number. Array as list means these all are the array as a list, which is stored 3223735. Now I want a get list of unique square. If you want get of unique square means the whatever value into value. So we have that also will come as a integer type. So we need a list of means we have to create it here list, and which type of data type, integer type is there. So integer a square list, and here we have a number. Why? Because of this is the reference which is taking from this array list. So number dot string. Why? Because of we are processing this data. So this data we are processing. So instead of normal we are using stream. So stream is a method which we have to process, and after that we are converting in this new form. A square, unique square we are converting. This is a simple number. For that 3 into 3 equal to 9, 2 into 2 equal to 4, 2 into 2 equal to 4, means some unique square different form is coming, either integer only different form. For that purpose we are using map. So how we will do? I value is what? I value is integer type. So it means compiler no integer type of I, because integer we are using. So for reference I is there. So I lambda, this is the lambda. I into I means 3 into 3 9, 2 into 2 4, 2 into 4 2 4, and distinct not repeated, unique. See here unique is there. So inside that we have a distinct method is there. So distinct, and now whatever the all this square distinct square will come, we need to collect. So we have a collectors. So collectors, through that we can collect, and two list I want to print. So we have two list. If you want sets unique data, then you have. So distinct also we can have unique data, or if you want to remove distinct, and you can make it as a two set also. So set will have a unique like this. So this filters here we are not using. Why? In this case, why? Because we don't have any conditions to check, just we are converting from one form to another form. So while we are converting from one form to another form, we have a map. So always we will use a stream. Inside that multiple functionality and method is there to process the data, either map, filters, distinct, collectors, and many things are there, count and all. So see here we are using count also. So the count, so all the count will be there. Limit also there. Sorted is there. Sort limit means we can put some limit after 10, random 10, 4. Sorted means some sorted order, ascending, descending, and all. Like that we have multiple things are there in this one. Now we have a final last one, date time API. So this date time API in Java is one of the best features which is coming, but in 7 onwards also have Java date time API, but in Java util package we have date time API in Java 8. So if you are using date time API, here we can use anything like simple date. Also we can print calendar date, time zone, and some of the local timestamp also we can use. If you are coming from different country or different local timestamp, then in Java 8 onwards we can print that one. And so if you are using this local date, so we have a local date. So local date means local timestamp will be printed. So this is the class of date time API example. We have a main method. Inside this main method we have a local date. So local date means this date as a reference, local date dot now. So inside this local date we have a multiple methods are there. Now, next day, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, like that multiple methods are there. If you want, you can use that functionality. So means this date will come, your local date will come. If you want some local time, so local time is a one methods are there, local time dot now. So local time dot now means some times will come based on this milliseconds and all. So this Java we can use any type of date format, either local, standard, some specific date time formats and all. So many things are there if you have to use. And if you want to customize, like I need a time based on hour, minute, second, like this, some of the real time application you will see like this. This is the format, right? Some of the application you will see opposite this format. Years will come last, something like that. So like that you have to customize this way. So you have to create local time, and then you have to mention this hours will be come last, minute will come second, second will come third, like this. So you can customize like this also. So these all are the Java 8 functionality or features which is there most important. Just go through any of website and take it as a reference. Either tutorials point is also best. This one only, this much topic is there. Lambda method reference, functional interface, default method, stream optional, and date time. Just revise this topic and let me know if you have any doubt, so that we will discuss, or else we'll close session here. Any doubt? Tomorrow we will continue here. This one. Tomorrow we'll continue this real-time project or UI, some React.js overview, and we will start a real-time project with a full stack development. So mostly we will use tomorrow basic full stack development, which is coming from here, which already I have shown you, and after that we will take some examples or some of the real-time examples where we are doing and how, what we are doing, and how we are using all the things which till now we discussed: core Java, database, and then DevOps tools or some AWS services if you want to use instead of that, and Java 8 features and all. First we will discuss one short applications from here, from the full stack React. Tomorrow we will give some overview of React.js, and then we will discuss the full stack, and after that we'll take a one live example, live real-time project. Then we will close this. Fine. Okay, so we are closing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you all.
Thank you.